Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aisha. My roll number is 104. Today I am going to present the concept of Creolization. It's a mixing of different cultures that create new kind of society. Like we call that kind of society is a Creole society. And this process happens all over the world, and this term mostly used for societies in the America, especially Caribbean society, like include South America, and these are the places where European colonization they brought together different racial ethnic group and creating mixed population. And Edward Braithwaite he described it as a culture process that involving material and psychological and spiritual change in the people, and people in a new environment they respond to their surrounding and to each other, and the way they interact depends on society's history makeup, but result is completely new creation, not just a copy of old cultures. And he also says that it is not a finished product, it's an ongoing process, and this includes two kind of things like acculturation and interculturation. He says that acculturation, one culture absorbs another, like weaker take the base of stronger ones, and interculturation are two-way mixing that they both give and takes. And in his study of Jamaica he shows that how the creolization began, and he gave the steps. And he says that creolization began under slavery. At first there was a fixed relationship, white were superior and black African were inferior, but over time they both adopt to each other, they give and take, and this create a new kind of society, a Caribbean environment. And like enslaved people they were forced to take on white norms, that is, we call it acculturation, but there was also a significant two-way exchange that but they both culture give and take. Like for example, enslaved African they kept their drumming and call response singing, and these styles was changed the American style church music and folk songs in the Caribbean. And its characteristic includes Creolization is balanced, its creative mixing of cultures where no single tradition dominates and identities stay flexible and rationally built. And its function is Creolization disrupt colonial narrative of cultural purity. Like colonial rulers say that European culture is pure and superior and African culture is backward. But Creolization proved this wrong because this shows that all culture in the Caribbean they mixed to each other. They both give and take, and nothing stay pure. Like not American, not European. They both culture change their ways. And colonization also shows how colonized people reshape their own culture. Enslaved people in America, they just don't took bit of European culture and change them, but not adopt it, but they also change them to fit their own needs. For example, American took European hymns, adopted African drumming, and colonial export, and this created a new. And this that's we call it agony, meaning they had the power to create something new even under slavery. And Creolization also offers an inclusive, flexible framework for understanding mixed identities. Normally, people think in boxes like either black or white, either traditional or modern, but Creolization say you can be both. A person can be African, European, and Caribbean all at once, and that's inclusive that include everyone. And flexible identities can change over time. And this help us understand today's world where people move, migrate, and mix like in the diaspora communities, Indian in Trinidad, Chinese in Jamaica, and these are societies that help us, Creolization help us to understand them. And colonization also empowered colonial societies to create all their on their own terms. Like after colonization ended, many countries felt their own culture was not pure enough or was just a copy of Europe. But colonization says that your mixed culture is not weakness; it's your strength. You don't have to copy Europe, or you don't have to go back to your old ways, old African ways. That's Creolization. Thank you.